I think most of the members have already spoken on several issues related to all the portfolios from health onwards to several things. But I'll just start with, generally I start with health, but I just want to start with the issue related to the Tiger Reserve. I just want to make a mention today on the floor of the House that the government is very clear as far as what its stand is and what Honorable Leader of Opposition has said. See, it's very important to take a stand. What stand we take and what actually is it? How will it additionally impact our environment in the state of Goa? In what way it's going to impact the life of the tiger? First of all, I want to know from the Leader of the Opposition. I don't want to say anything. I'm not going on a political tangent here. I'm just going to go on basic facts that are there. It is easy for everybody, and we also as representatives, and also being representatives of the people of the state of Goa, we also are supposed to be looking after the interest of our people that we represent. Today it's not only about the 8 MLAs that represent the area that has been covered in the north to south corridor. It also impacts the lives of the people. When there is a wildlife sanctuary already in place, where I've been always saying that the appropriate ecosystem is also required. If you want to have a tiger and you want to have the tigers or that type of species to survive in the wildlife sanctuary, then it takes a lot of work, Speaker Sir, for you to create that ecosystem. I am a passionate tiger lover. It is easy for members of the Assembly today to say we are here to legislate. We have got an order that has been issued for directions, whatever reasons best known, each of us know what has happened, and I don't want to go into all that because what the state government is going to do, definitely we need to see that we are in a position to ensure that the interests of the people are protected. And same time, Speaker Sir, in the state of Goa, we have got 4 wildlife sanctuaries. We have a small state like ours. Coverage also has been increasing. Overall, each and every aspect which you take into consideration, what a wildlife sanctuary is doing in the state of Goa today, and with the Tiger Reserve, how will it impact? First of all, I am not going to make any statement on the species of tiger. Neither am I going to say, because tomorrow morning our opposition and many, I'm not saying opposition leader, but a lot of people who generally don't understand the plight of the people living in the forest and why it was in the past where people were living out of the income also from the forest. We are not saying by cutting trees, but casual income and several other incomes. With the Tiger Reserve being declared by the High Court, the directions have been given that in 3 months to declare it as a Tiger Reserve. We have to take a stand and we have to come forward and say that what we are going to do. All of them who are here representing, none of them will be able to do any kind of activity. It is going to be much more stringent than what it is today. I don't want to go into what is given to me, that what will be, in case you want a particular project or public interest, how it's going to take shape. Today, what is at stage 3, you'll have to go stage 4 and stage 5 in order to go, and with just stringent measures, and in order to bypass all that, it's going to be very difficult for all of us. People's interest has to be protected. People's interest has to be. How many of you have read any kind of social impact study on this wildlife sanctuary and the people of the state of vis-a-vis the tiger population in the state of Goa? Easy to say, easy for some NGO to go to court. This NGO has got into a habit. Many of these NGOs are not Goans. When you talk about Goans, somebody talks of Goekar, somebody talks of. I want to ask Venzi, I'm not even going in. I was reading your post, we should have tiger safaris and all. This is not a joke. This is something to do with the lives of the people. I respect your point of view that you feel that it is good for the state of Goa, but we feel as a government that we feel that we have to defend this particular thing, because as it is, everything is watertight all over the place. Watertight in what way? That you have got already wildlife parks, you have got wildlife sanctuaries. It's easy to say and go and propagate to somebody else and say, I'm not talking vis-a-vis my constituency today. I'm talking as Forest Minister of the state. Have you ever gone and seen what work has been done in the Forest Department? Have you gone and seen exactly is the ecosystem right for the tiger to survive there? It is not just having a tiger reserve and say that we have got Goa, we have got a tiger reserve in the state of Goa. I want to tell these NGOs, first of all, have they gone into these wildlife parks? How much time have they spent in these wildlife parks? Have they done any type of impact studies, assessment studies? Nothing has been done. And nothing has been done even by us, nothing has been done by anybody, and without even seeing a social impact study and any kind of assessment that is being done, directions can be given. We are here to hear, we are here to listen to, all of us can deliberate within the floor, on the floor of the House, but I would like to only say that the monitoring of the tiger reserve is carried out at the national level by the National Tiger Conservation Authority and MOEF and others. This, what does it mean, Speaker Sir? It means that a tiger reserve requires inviolate area that is free of human habitation. Is it possible in today's time when we have not been in a position to rehabilitate the people who are already by a wildlife sanctuary, who are already there and who are living there, have we able to resolve all their rights and give them? That's not happened till date. When the wildlife park was declared in 1999 without any kind of objection, suggestion, without any kind of object suggestion, just because there was precedence rule and one governor found, I'm on the floor of the House, one governor found that he should declare the wildlife park and somebody else in the officials found that they should just take a pen and just color this whole thing without even making any kind of study. Goa got all these 4 wildlife parks. And after doing all that, today again we get a direction from the judiciary that we fully respect. I've already said that we fully respect. But what about the plight of the people who are staying in all these areas? Do you want Goa's economic activity to come to a standstill? Do you know that there are even additional eco-sensitive areas that are already there? And these eco-sensitive areas are in addition, Speaker Sir, to the wildlife park and the boundaries of the wildlife park that has been shown. So somewhere there has to be, we have to take a very practical kind of a decision. And yes, we are going to approach and we are examining, we are in the process of examining whatever the government needs to do, has to do for the people of the state of Goa. Monitoring on all activities carried out in tiger reserves, Speaker Sir, is strictly carried as per Tiger Conservation Plan. I don't want to go more. Ecotourism, all this will remain a dream. Just now, Honorable Member Shri Vijay Sardesai talk about trekking and all. Once you have all this, everything will come to a full stop. There's nobody going to allow anybody inside. I go to tiger parks and I see what the man and human, the conflict between the forest and the people living in the peripheral also area becomes very difficult. And where are you going to rehabilitate all the people who are already in the wildlife sanctuary, which is now being directed to be declared as a tiger reserve? Has anybody done any kind of assessment? Is there anybody in the assembly who has actually commissioned any kind of a survey that has to be done? And I don't think anybody has done. If anybody has done, please place it on the floor of the House so that uneducated people like me will at least read it. I'm calling myself uneducated because everybody I find is becoming more educated than the research people. Easy to say. What will, this Honorable Speaker is also there. His constituency, a huge chunk has been marked into the Tiger Reserve. So now, whichever the plan which has been approved by the Honorable High Court, in addition to it, Ganesh Kaunkar's area is there. In addition to it, Subhash Faldesai's constituency is there. Our areas are there. Straight away it has taken. Same by the way the wildlife sanctuary was done. It's all okay. I agree with the leader of opposition that you have done a watertight judgment has come and all that. That doesn't mean that we as a government fail in our duty to see that we defend what is good for the state and what needs to be done. Speaker Sir, ecotourism shall be only carried out as per standing operating procedures of the Tiger Reserve. I don't want to go much on the Tiger Reserve because what the government has to do, I have had a detailed discussion with Honorable Chief Minister also, because ultimately we have to look at the state's interest, and the state's interest is the people's interest also. I am not debating today. You may be thinking that I'm going to go aggressive on defending and all. I'm not going to do anything. I am only going to say that what is in the interest of the state must be done. If we have to take our case at a higher authority, we must take it at a higher authority and defend the people of the state of Goa. Why are we here? Tomorrow there is economic activity. You say there is no money. Somebody is saying somebody else. That's why I corrected one of the members by saying, number one, number two, we both are together. We both belong to one party, we respect each other, and we are together with each other, and he'll complete his term as Chief Minister of Goa. That I am saying on the floor of the House. So don't make any confusion about me and number one, number two, number one. There's none number two, number one. He is the Chief Minister of the state of Goa. I respect him, and that's the end of it. There's no discussion beyond that. He rules the state, but same time, we as ministers have to back him in trying to address all these issues. Tomorrow, if I say there's a short of finance or something, it's not happening. I am here standing in front of you, answering on the floor of the House to each member every point that has been raised. Tiger Reserve, I've been just watching, I've been just hearing. Tiger Reserve, but how many of these members, how many of you have gone to a Tiger Reserve? How many people, members of this house have gone? Has that Goa Foundation gone any time to the Tiger Reserve and any of them have spent time in a Tiger Reserve? I know what a Tiger Reserve is. Last 16 years, I'm going to a Tiger Reserve. I spend more than 12 to 14 hours every day. I go for maybe 4-5 days in the middle. Now, these days, I have not been able to go, but I know each and every operating procedure of a Tiger Reserve. And where have these people? They have a habit of just litigating and trying to create some sort of monster out of nothing. We already have a wildlife sanctuary in place. The measures are in place. Forest department is very strict. There's no illegal activity happening. And there's a myth that there's some wildlife reality bogey coming and all. In the wildlife sanctuary, no such thing is happening. I totally agree with the members that we have to do much more in terms of preservation of forest. But I also want to mention to them that the forest cover in the state of Goa comparative to other states has been increasing on an annual basis. As far as private forest is concerned, we are not doing any kind of illegality as far as private forest is concerned. Bab Viresh Borkar, honorable member, when he brought it to my notice, immediately he knows that those notices are put on those areas where private forest was converted beyond when there was a conservator of forest who had said that the sanad should not be given. Sanad was given in spite of which projects were carried out, and as a result of which we are taking whatever action, whatever you bring to our notice, we are taking. It is not possible for us to know everything what is happening. As far as the forest department is concerned, Shri Vijay Sardesai mentioned that this about the tree census and other things, but I will talk about it, but I just want to make a mention that as far as the department is concerned, we are doing our best. Forest fires increased from 33 to 104. This increase to 104, that year we found this year we found that the moisture level had gone down, and as a result of which many times we hear the word global warming. I had gone to some location where somebody mentioned to me that if the glaciers melt there, then it has a thundering effect right up to our state of Goa. It's that type of in our country. So as a result of which, all these things put together, we are keeping in mind what needs to be done, and we are taking it forward. As far as I am concerned, Speaker Sir, I just want to mention is that the Forest Department on all fronts, whether it is Bondla, whether to create all these circuits that are required, we are working on it. It is required. As far as the fund is concerned, Vijay Sardesai was Forest Minister. He knows all the verticals from where the money comes and how the money has to be utilized. Yes, we are doing our best to see all these things are put in place, and Forest Department, as I have been having constant meetings with the Forest Department and the officials to see that each and every aspect and each and every vertical is addressed. Speaker Sir, also in addition, we are in the process of creating a foundation as far as Bondla is concerned, as a zoo, so people can contribute directly to that foundation. This is going to be under the government itself, so that we are able to get money under CSR into that foundation for the zoo, specifically for the zoo. There are people who like to give certain CSR for such activities. So as a result of which, we are trying our best to see how best we can move forward. I assure you, assurances when we give on the floor of the House, I know it is many times one assembly comes, second assembly comes, but definitely we are making an effort on all fronts to see that we move forward as far as the forest department goes. Hopefully, we in our endeavor to see that we do justice to the people of I will not say anything today or any word to say about the area and the decision that is taken by the Honorable High Court, but definitely the government is going to make its plea wherever it is to make its plea in the right manner. Our presentation of fact with respect to already so much of area covered under the wildlife parks will be addressed, and we are taking it out. We are taking it up to the appropriate authority wherever it's required. I am not trying to say that your view against my view or my view against you, but are you all understanding as members of the opposition and we members of the ruling, it doesn't mean anything. We members of the House, are you all understanding that this Goa Foundation is a pain for the state of Goa? Are you all understanding they are destroying every bit of the state of Goa, and they think that they get these decisions in their favor everywhere? They are following an obstructive policy on a progressive state. Today we are in power, tomorrow somebody else may be in power. That means these type of elements, I am openly talking on the floor of the House. Do you think that such elements should be supported by you? You also belong to a national party. We also belong to a national party. Vijay was also a part of this government in the past. but that does not mean that a progressive state is put to a halt by such elements. I do agree when Honorable Member Shri Kalus mentioned to me about certain things, I will investigate. If Viresh Porkar, when he calls me, immediately if I am able to take action, if Elton called me, raised the issue, I sent him the copies of the FIR that is already been filed by the police. There is no hesitation on my side to see that action is being taken on all fronts as far as illegalities are concerned and what needs to be done. But are we wanting to progress? Are we wanting to go forward? Or Honorable Member, I told you, you're a young member, you got a long way to go. You'll have such NGOs objecting to you also tomorrow if you are sitting in a seat of power. I'm making it very clear to you. You should make up your mind whether you're going to be listening to them and running a state, or you're going to be listening to your conscience and running a state. It's okay that somebody else is in power. No, I'm just telling, I'm praising you.
Yeah, that's okay.
No, let me
just
finish.
One, only just
one
thing.
Let him complete his.
I did not interrupt.
Let him complete his.
No. Speaker,
Let him complete. You all have all spoken.
No.
Sogale zan ulela
No, I'm not.
Let him finish.
I did not interrupt anybody.
Sit down, please. Boss,
Sir, I would just.
I did not take your name. And Speaker, sir, I have not interrupted a single member. All this while I was silent. I listened to everything, criticism, everything. It doesn't matter because on the floor
just Minister, just one question.
I will tell you. Then you sit.
Let him complete.
Let me finish.
Leader of opposition.
And Speaker, sir, as far as we are concerned, as a democratically elected, where I made a mention, I said we have 40 people who are in the House to legislate. We are here to legislate. We are here to run the government through legislations. We are not here to run the government because somebody has some interest and he files some petition. It's okay. He files a petition. Good. Somebody gets a stay. Vijay brought a particular section. Somebody else was running it. Somebody else got a stay. That does not mean the government is an ongoing process. It doesn't mean anything. What do you want to do ultimately? I will come to the point what I want to do. I have made this point today very clear because many times people get a very sadistic pleasure, to whenever Chief Minister and me are there, like this 1 and 2 and all. There's no 1 and 2. There's only 1. And I'm making this point very clear today on the floor of the House because I want the media also to understand that there is no confusion here. The government is very clear-cut in its thought process. When we discuss. I always brief him and I take a stand. What stand should be taken? And it's take a people's stand. I cannot discuss beyond that when it's a sub judice matter. The court has given a direction what I am going to do. But one thing is that we are going to stay with the people of the state of Goa. There is a substantial amount of people who are on that side and they also need to be addressed. They cannot be kept away from development. Tomorrow you cannot say that this rest are progressive people and we should be kept without any kind of progress and be kept in the dark here. That's not going to happen. Irrespective of whichever foundation files a case against the government on every aspect, we will defend it. We will fight it. If required, we will bring legislations to defend our case and move forward. I want everyone to hear this very clearly that we are in a position to legislate. You and me have to legislate. We have to legislate on the floor of the House. If somebody goes and tries to obstruct everything, how do you progress? Today you want power, there also there is something. You want highways, you want good roads, there also there is something. Then what actually do you want? What actually does the state want? State cannot function like this by you sitting on the other side and taking pleasure out of litigations that go against the state government. We have to defend it and we will defend it. Sometimes we may have difference of opinions on both sides. As a result of which we have to come to some sort of a compromise and move forward. As far as the Forest Department and Tiger Reserve goes, I made my stand very clear. The government is going to make its plea. It's going to approach appropriate authorities and take whatever is in the interest of the state of Goa. After having so much, without any kind of feasibility study, in order to have a Tiger Reserve, you have to come to first the basic 5 steps which were not completed. And after that, only you can consider giving suggestions or direction to the state government to have a Tiger Reserve or not to have a Tiger Reserve. People, just because they don't have a voice, just because the people in that area cannot afford a single lawyer who's fit to fight in the Supreme Court, that means we should abandon them. While I am sitting here as a part of the government, it's not my stand. It's a stand of the people. It is a stand of the government that this is a progressive government. When there is no feasibility study, everyone is making a statement on how we should be appreciating this decision of the High Court. We are not commenting on the decision of the High Court. We are commenting on the facts and the facts that have to be discussed and mentioned on the floor of the House. And I have made this mention as far as whatever the compensatory afforestation is concerned, what Compa fund has to be used, each and every aspect. I am personally sitting down, and we have decided every 15 days to have meetings to see that the money is well utilized so that the department progresses in a proper manner as far as forest department is concerned. If there are each and every aspect, what has been mentioned by every member is being addressed. I have made the department take notes, and we will also write back to you and give you a status report exactly what is happening as far as the departments are concerned. These are the people who are nothing but speakers, cutting the private forest and coloring it in a different way was also art. And here, where was the civil society? Were they dead at that time? Where was this Goa Foundation? Today, first time in my life, I'm taking Goa Foundation's name. These are frauds. They don't deserve to stay in the state of Goa. They are obstructing every development cause in the state of Goa. Mining, shut. These guys.
Speaker sir, mining was shut by.
I'm speaking. They can.
Speaker sir.
No, I will
Speaker
continue
sir,
to speak.
Speaker sir.
No, you can
Speaker
say
sir,
what you want.
Speaker sir, fraud
Speaker sir, I have the right to say, and I don't want my word to be removed.
Mining was stopped by Manohar Parrikar.
They can say what they want. They can say what they want.
Let him complete.
I think it's better.
Let him.
I am not taking any word
how
back.
can he just
It
cast
hurts
this
certain
on everyone?
people because we have to run the government.
Because sir, सोपल्या उपरांत ताका कितें सांगपाक जाय तें सांगूं न्ही.
Let him finish speaking.
When we talk, can we use these words?
Sir, I am not going to.
Let him complete.
I am not going to take any word back. Today I want to speak.
Complete.
I want to speak. I want to
Minister,
speak.
please complete.
Because people of Goa also should realize how these roads have taken place. Every aspect goes to the court. Everywhere you find that these people putting a pin in the development process of the state of Goa. And I am telling you, Speaker sir, this way we are not going to progress. Irrespective of what who may say, what I said, I am not regretful of anything that I say. I am telling you that when these type of SLC members are there in the state and these fellows for their own selfish interests try to do and spell doom for the state of Goa, do you know, Speaker sir, many churches and many temples, the open space in front of the church, also the zones were changed overnight. What do you want to say? What were these people doing? They were sleeping. What was the civil society, so-called civil society? What I said in a press conference was that the more than that 50-member civil society, it is we who are responsible legislators who represent 40 constituencies who are representative of the state of Goa and more important than the civil society. We are the ones who are responsible when we discuss any legislation in the House. And I will tell you, Speaker sir, it is these people who put a block in the development. Everywhere you find these people propping up and trying to see that the state doesn't progress. And then you yourself ask us, where is the money for the state to come from? And you want us to innovate in different ways. A lot of people take a lot of pleasure when something goes wrong in any policy formulation or a policy of the state. Money and income is required for the state, whatever activities in the state. Somewhere there is an imbalance in an economic activity or a policy from wherever. It affects the earnings of the state. We have been lucky. We are trying our best to see that we keep the state afloat and move forward. I am also very clearly on the floor of the House trying to mention, irrespective of, I am not regretful of anything that I am saying. Whatever I want to say today is in public domain. It is out. If anybody wants to challenge it, please go ahead and challenge it. Before you all challenge it, read it. Before you all say anything on what I am going to say, I don't want to say much. I have only said it because I heard certain things and I had no opportunity to say it. I said I'll say it in the... And Speaker sir, please make note. What I am saying is the property of the House. Anything can be reported tomorrow in the media, but anybody takes a press conference on what I have said, it can amount to breach of privilege. I am making it. I have already written to the legislature that this can be a breach of privilege of the House where any press conference taken on what I say. The person has to be summoned here, and I will not hesitate in writing to you to bring that person here and make him stand in front of the assembly. incidents have happened in the past. Let anybody tell me. I will raise whichever sections and I will tell you how it can be done. I am not going to keep quiet this time. This time you need to hear me and you need to know that we are also a progressive state. We are a progressive party. We have got an alliance of group of people who are with us and we want to move forward.
2017 ते 16 बियाचे 12 बिरेस्तार कशे केले ते आमी हांगा खूब उलयले. आता 16B सारखे ना म्हणून 17-2 हाडले. आता 16B आहा आणि 17-2 आहा. सो कितें आहा आणि कितें ना ते आमकांच खबर ना.
गरज पडल्यार 18A बी हाडटा. गरज पडल्यार 18B बी हाडुया. गरज पडल्यार 18C बी हाडुया. पण एक सांगता तुका हे पॉवर ऑफ द हाऊस टू लेजिस्लेट केन्ना तू NGOच्या हातीन दिवं नाका. NGO ते कितें करता आनी हे NGO एक गोंयची वाट लावपाक उठल्या आनी NGO म्हणून जे हांवें म्हणून सांगले युरीक एक बरेपणान सांगले.
Speaker sir, one second, let me speak. Vijay, 1 minute. Only one question. Speaker sir, I would like the Honorable Chief Minister
Speaker
to
sir, I have
clarify.
answered every query and I think you need to use your jurisdiction. Let's close the...
No, just one question.
Speaker sir,
I'll just tell you.
Speaker sir, is the minister aware?
It is because of
Goa Foundation,
this NGO.
Government is earning 45,000 crores.
Exactly.
Is he aware of this?
This is what, because of Goa Foundation, the state government is expected to get so much revenue through mining. Yes. The state revenue mining was not
55,000 crores.
Because of Goa Foundation, you got it. So that's the positive of it.
The topic is.
Sir, but he's cast something. No, I'm asking the Chief Minister. It is because of Goa Foundation.
Can you tell the MLS to go to court?
That we've got this income.
Can you tell the MLS to go to court?
Because at the moment this is going in different directions. We are talking on issues out of my portfolio.
No. Since he said generally.
Which rule of the rules of business?
You need to close
under which rules of the rules of business? Can you tell the MLA to
Leader
go
of
to court?
opposition, you asked Honorable Minister relevant
Speaker
questions.
sir,
Relevant only. I asked it relevant since he's...
Point of order. Speaker sir, under which rules of procedure and conduct of business can you tell a MLA asking a question to go to the court? Tell me the rules.
Because sir, nobody has told Vijay Sardesai to go to court. And I'm being very, I think he is not understanding what I'm saying. I'm saying I have never told him and I will never tell him to go to court. Why are we discussing something about some NGO and something? Leave it. Now
No, you got the topic. You got the topic. You got the name. Because sir.
Go to the court.
Because sir, Konkani rounds are over.
So.
Because sir, I'm addressing you. Now you need to close the proceedings. It's going in different directions. Everybody is asking all questions not related to the portfolio.
Everybody is